This is my first time showing you what I look like, so hello. I'm recording on my iPhone, so it's not going to be the highest quality, but that's okay. Also, I'm a little sick. Not the greatest time to be making a video, but I have to do this. I'm doing this because recently something terrible happened. On January 19th, 2016, YouTube took down Battle for Dream Island Episode 1 Part 2, which had over 6.5 million views. Also, I forgot to mention, Michael sent an appeal for taking down the video, but YouTube denied that as well. So, a bit of background for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm Cary Huang, I'm 18 years old, and I have a twin brother named Michael. He's not here with me right now. When we were kids, Michael and I watched cartoons on TV all the time, usually on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. And it was our dream to create our own cartoon someday. Wouldn't that be so cool? We started with simple comic strips. I had my The Apples, which you can see in jacksmack.sim, and my brother Michael, he had Jack and Jellyfy, which you can see in I Can Make a Difference. Also, that's where we got our YouTube channel name. When we were 8, we moved on from simple comic strips to stop-motion animation with our camcorder. We created the so-called cartoons that you can see on our new channel, Zachbone Productions. Of course, we still felt a little held back because these fun childhood games still weren't full-fledged cartoons that you saw on TV. But after our mom took a class in animating with Flash, we soon learned how to animate too, and that really opened the floodgates. Michael was the first, and he created his first real animation, I Can Make a Difference, in 4th grade, which is still on YouTube. And then, when we were on a plane ride back from Hawaii in 2009, Michael and I had the idea of turning one of my comic strips, Fiery, which you can see in BFDI Origins, into a YouTube animated series that would upload one episode every month. The special aspect of our videos was that viewers could influence the fate of the characters. They could vote each episode on who to eliminate. I'm pretty sure you already know this. So we had 25 episodes planned, so it was going to take 2 years. By far the largest endeavor we'd ever taken. We were 12 at the time, and we'd be 14 when it finished. And I just remember thinking back then, I was going to go in one person and come out a completely different person. From August 2009 to December 2009, we recorded and animated for hours every single day. Or maybe not every day, but almost every day. We wanted to release the first episode at the turn of the decade, January 1st, 2010. It was tough, but it was also fun. And we also had 7th grade homework in the way, which made things more difficult. I remember the last thing that we needed to animate was Blocky saying, "Aw, come on." And that was 3 or 4 days before New Year's, so back then we were really ahead of schedule. So the upload was successful. We had to split our 17-minute video into 2 parts, because back then I think the longest video you could upload was either 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, 17-minute video into one 7-minute section and one 10-minute section. One of my happiest memories is waking up early on January 1st, 2010 to Michael telling me that we got our very first vote. It was J-Slayboy saying, "Flower goes away." After 5 years of anticipation and 4 months of hard work, our cartoon was finally coming alive. It was so great! We managed to upload all 25 episodes of BFDI without any delays. Yeah, things have changed a lot. But just as planned, by the beginning of 2012, we had finished an entire season. I won't spoil who wins, just in case any of you haven't watched yet. I want to clear up a misconception. Our YouTube channel was not successful to start with. In fact, when we finished our first season, we only had 1,670 subscribers. Over the last 4 years, we've grown to 114,000. But we had no idea it would grow so much in the beginning. Ever since August 2013, we've been on hiatus with the 2nd season, because we've been busy with high school, college, and other extracurricular activities. Some of them are on YouTube, some of them are not. But BFDI isn't dead, and every few weeks, Michael and I try to think about how we would revive it. We just haven't hit the right moment in time where we have been free enough to embark on such a large project. So that brings us to today, where BFDI is so large it kinda blows my mind. Remember, episode 1 had to be split into 2 parts. So part 1 has 32 million views, which is awesome, and part 2 has 6.5 million views, which is also awesome. But, like I mentioned earlier, on January 19th, 2016, YouTube took down that second part. And that was after 6 years of it sitting on YouTube totally fine, with 6.5 million people also agreeing it was totally fine, and several thousand people even liking it. What's funny is that, earlier the day it was taken down, I was actually watching a BFDI marathon in the background while I was doing my homework. I had no idea I would be one of the last people to watch episode 1 part 2 before it would go down. Now, here's the thing. When Michael first told me that BFDI 1 part 2 went down, my first thought was, oh, an angry horde of fans got enough people to flag the video for it to be deleted. But I think it takes someone at YouTube to agree that the video violates some community guideline for the video to actually go down. So I'm guessing a real professional YouTube employee saw the video, agreed that it broke some rule, pressed the red button, and down it went. There's 7 rules YouTube lists that could get your video banned if you break them. YouTube, of course, didn't tell us which rule we broke, so we're still in the dark. I still don't know what we did wrong. This baffles me. If you want to correct someone's behavior, shouldn't you tell them what they're doing wrong so they can fix it? If a kid steals candy, and you tell him to stop stealing candy, and you tell him why, he might stop stealing candy. But if he steals candy and 6 years later you slap him, he's gonna have no idea what he did wrong. Anyway, that's not the main point. I went through each of the 7 rules and tried to figure out which one we broke. Nudity and sexual content. No way. BFDI is pretty much as family friendly as it gets on YouTube. Violent or graphic content? No, unless you consider bubbles popping as a violent and gory death. And besides, there are so many incredibly violent animations on YouTube that don't get pulled down. Surely BFDI is fine in that aspect. Hateful content? Again, no. Unless you consider Snowball and Golf Ball's little quarrel hateful content. But again, so much worse is on YouTube, with real people instead of fictional characters, so BFDI should be fine. Spam, misleading metadata, and scams? There's nothing spammy about BFDI. You click there going for a fun cartoon, and you get a fun cartoon. It's plain and simple. Harmful and dangerous content? Again, no. Copyright. I realized if someone at YouTube saw BFDI and thought it was a TV show that was re-uploaded, they would take it down because of copyright. But no, we created this video, the animation, we created it all ourselves, and we spent 4 months on it too. And the quality of the animation is so bad, you should instantly be able to tell that it wasn't stolen from TV. Finally, threats. Again, no. The video's been re-uploaded, so you can watch the video for yourself and decide if it's really so offensive. So I found myself poring over every statement a character said, trying to find what tripped us up. But then I realized I shouldn't have to do this at all. YouTube is supposed to be a free platform, where you can post whatever you want. People get in huge drawn-out arguments via YouTube videos, but they don't get the other side's videos taken down just because they don't agree with them. That would be censorship. In other words, the community guidelines are not some dictatorial set of orders that you must obey. They're not supposed to restrict you, they're supposed to protect you. Who exactly is being protected by episode 1 part 2 going down? The only thing is that I feel restricted, the BFDI fans feel restricted, and future BFDI fans will just be confused because the chronology is all out of order. Some of you might be like, oh, Michael re-uploaded the video, so if that doesn't get taken down, then it's all fine, right? Well, no. First of all, it's important that the videos stay in chronological order, because of what I mentioned earlier. Secondly, the views, comments, and likes must be worth something.
Remember, those stats don't carry over from the original upload to the re-upload.
I mean, wouldn't you be upset if the rewards of 4 months of hard work literally got reset to 0? But most importantly, YouTube should not be a place where sane people have to fear every day that their videos are going to be taken down for reasons they don't know, even if they're allowed to re-upload. I'd be a bit more hesitant uploading TWOW 3A if I knew it would be taken down and I'd have to re-upload it further down the road. If I had an even lower stakes video, like a vlog, hell, I might not even upload it at all, it's just not worth the effort. Why upload a video the first time if you're just forced to re-upload it again later? What was the point of the first upload? Besides, re-uploads just aren't the same as original uploads. Most casual fans won't watch it again. Subscribers don't think you're producing actual content, and might unsubscribe to avoid the flood of
unoriginal uploads.
It's just not at all the perfect system. So what do I want YouTube to do? Simple, just bring BFDI episode 1 part 2 back. It costs maybe 2 minutes of their time to do that. It took us 4 months of hard work to get that video up in the first place. And if YouTube really can't bring that video back for whatever reason, I'd at least like to be able to know what that reason was. What rule did we actually violate? It's so ridiculous because I still don't know what we did wrong.
If we knew what we did wrong and the problem is easy enough to fix, we could just re-upload the video correctly this time.
What worries me is that most BFDI episodes, relatively speaking, are so similar to each other. If one video goes down for whatever reason, then it's pretty likely that the rest of the videos could also go down for the same reason. But why would anybody want that? Who is being hurt by BFDI being online? Over 114,000 people have already stated they want BFDI to exist. Aside from mindless haters, who would go out of their way to make it not exist? So what do I want you, the viewers, to do? Well, I'm not really sure. I feel really helpless in this situation, so you probably feel even more helpless. I suppose you could just make some noise. Spread this video. Don't let episode 1 part 2 go down without a fight. Now, if I know you guys well enough, I know that the only thing you'll comment is, "Where's BFDI A6? Well, let me put it to you this way. I'd love to bring BFDI A6 to you, but if my videos are going to be taken down for whatever reason, I'm just not so sure I want to go through all that effort just to have it all revoked. If I spend months working on a project, the least I'd ask for is that the project stay visible for others to see." Well, that's all I've got to say. I hope this all turns out well. Goodbye.